It is crucial for inspectors to accurately document violations on correction notices. This practice ensures that contractors and homeowners fully understand the specific requirements they must meet to rectify the issue. Clear documentation also establishes a definitive record of inspection findings, which can prove invaluable in case of disputes or legal proceedings. Some inspectors may not always include the specific code section on the correction notice for several reasons. The inspector may not have memorized the precise code section applicable to the violation. Time constraints might prevent the inspector from looking up the specific code section during the inspection. The inspector might assume that the contractor or homeowner will readily understand the violation even without a specific code reference. Regardless of the reasons, including the specific code section on the correction notice is generally considered the gold standard. This approach provides the most precise and comprehensive information to the contractor or homeowner. This ensures that the violation is corrected in full compliance with the relevant code requirements. If you are an inspector, it is highly recommended that you include the specific code section on all correction notices. This commitment to detail will contribute to thorough and accurate inspections. It will also safeguard you from potential liability in the event of disputes or legal challenges. When documenting electrical code violations, it is essential to be specific and unambiguous. Using clear and concise language will help to avoid misunderstandings and ensure that the contractor or homeowner can easily understand the required corrective actions. In addition to the specific code section, include a brief description of the violation, outlining what was observed during the inspection that led to the citation. Providing a clear explanation of the violation helps the recipient understand the reasoning behind the citation and the importance of correcting the issue. If possible, include photographs or diagrams to further illustrate the violation. Visual aids can be particularly helpful in clarifying complex or difficult to describe issues. For example, a photo of exposed wiring or diagram showing an incorrect wiring configuration can be much more effective than a written description alone. Verify that all information on the correction notice is accurate and complete. Double-check the code section, description of the violation, and any other relevant details before issuing the notice. Inaccurate or incomplete information can lead to confusion and delays in correcting the violation. Maintain a professional and respectful tone throughout the correction notice. Avoid using accusatory or confrontational language. The goal is to communicate the violation clearly and constructively, not to assign blame. Explain the potential consequences of not correcting the violation. This may include fines, penalties, or other enforcement actions. By clearly outlining the risks associated with non-compliance, you can motivate the recipient to take corrective action promptly. Provide clear instructions on how to correct the violation. This may include specific steps to take, materials to use, or other relevant guidance. The more detailed and helpful your instructions are, the easier it will be for the recipient to comply with the correction notice. Offer to answer any questions or provide additional assistance. Let the recipient know that you are available to clarify any aspects of the violation or provide guidance on how to correct it. This demonstrates a commitment to helping them achieve compliance. Keep a copy of the correction notice for your records. This will provide documentation of the inspection findings and any subsequent corrective actions taken. Maintain a well-organized filing system to easily access these records when needed. Follow up on correction notices to ensure that violations have been corrected. This may involve re-inspecting the property or requesting documentation of completed repairs. Timely follow-up is essential to ensure that violations are addressed and that the property is brought into compliance. If a violation has not been corrected within the specified time frame, take appropriate enforcement action. This may include issuing fines, penalties, or other legal measures. Consistent enforcement is essential to maintain the integrity of the electrical code and to protect public safety. Stay up to date on changes to the electrical code and best practices for electrical inspection. Attend training courses, read industry publications, and participate in professional organizations to stay informed about the latest developments in the field. Continuous learning is essential to provide accurate and effective electrical inspections. Consider using technology to streamline the inspection process. Mobile apps and other digital tools can help you to document violations, track correction notices, and manage inspection data more efficiently. Embrace technology to improve the accuracy and efficiency of your work. Always prioritize safety during electrical inspections. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, follow safe work practices, and be aware of potential hazards. Your safety is paramount. Communicate effectively with contractors, homeowners, and other stakeholders. Be clear, concise, and respectful in your communications. Effective communication is essential to building trust and cooperation. Be fair and impartial in your inspections. Apply the electrical code consistently to all properties, regardless of ownership or other factors. Fairness and impartiality are essential to maintaining public trust. Document any challenges or obstacles encountered during the inspection process. This may include access issues, uncooperative property owners, or other difficulties. Documenting these challenges can help you to address them effectively in the future. Seek guidance from experienced inspectors or supervisors when needed. Don't hesitate to ask for help when you encounter unfamiliar or complex situations. Learning from others is an essential part of professional development. Participate in peer reviews or quality assurance programs. This can help you to identify areas for improvement and to ensure that your inspections are accurate and consistent. Continuous improvement is essential to providing high-quality electrical inspections. Adhere to ethical standards and maintain professional integrity. Your reputation is your most valuable asset. Act with honesty, integrity, and professionalism in all of your interactions. Contribute to the overall safety and reliability of the electrical system by performing thorough and accurate inspections. Your work plays a vital role in protecting public safety. Accurately documenting violations involves several key elements. Firstly, you need a clear and concise description of the issue. Avoid jargon and use language that anyone can understand. For example, instead of saying improper grounding, say the grounding wire is not connected to the metal box. Secondly, specify the exact location of the violation. Be precise, such as the kitchen receptacle on the north wall rather than just the kitchen. Thirdly, reference the specific code section that has been violated. This is crucial for clarity and provides a legal basis for the citation. For example, cite National Electrical Code Section 250.110(1) for improper grounding. Fourthly, include photographs or diagrams when possible. A picture is worth 1,000 words, especially when illustrating complex wiring issues. Fifthly, offer clear instructions on how to correct the violation. Provide step-by-step guidance and include any relevant technical specifications. Sixthly, maintain a professional and respectful tone throughout the notice. Avoid accusatory language and focus on explaining the problem and the solution. Seventhly, be available to answer questions and provide further clarification. Communication is key to ensuring that the violation is corrected properly. Eighthly, keep a detailed record of all correction notices issued, including the date, location, violation description, code section, and any follow-up actions taken. This documentation is essential for tracking compliance and resolving disputes. Ninthly, follow up on correction notices to verify that the violations have been corrected. This may involve a re-inspection or a request for documentation. Tenthly, be consistent in your enforcement of the electrical code. Apply the same standards to all properties and individuals, regardless of their background or relationship to you. Consistent enforcement ensures fairness and prevents accusations of bias. Accurate documentation also protects you from liability. If a violation is not properly documented, it may be difficult to defend your actions in court. Clear and complete records are essential for demonstrating that you acted reasonably and in accordance with the law. Moreover, consider using technology to streamline the documentation process. Mobile apps and software programs are available that can help you to create and manage correction notices more efficiently. These tools can also automate many of the tasks involved in documentation, such as code section lookup and report generation. Remember that accurate documentation is not just a technical requirement, It is also a matter of ethics and professionalism. As an inspector, you have a responsibility to protect public safety and to ensure that electrical installations are safe and code compliant. By taking the time to document violations accurately and completely, you are fulfilling this responsibility and contributing to a safer community. Accurate violation documentation is essential for electrical inspectors to ensure code compliance, protect public safety, and mitigate liability. It involves providing clear and specific information about the violation, including the location, code section, description, and corrective actions needed. Inspectors must maintain detailed records and follow up on correction notices to verify compliance. By adhering to best practices and using technology to streamline the process, inspectors can improve the accuracy and efficiency of their work and contribute to a safer electrical environment. Furthermore, it is important to remember that accurate documentation is an ongoing process, not just a one-time task. Inspectors should regularly review their documentation practices and seek feedback from colleagues and supervisors to identify areas for improvement. They should also stay up to date on changes to the electrical code and best practices for documentation. Effective documentation requires a combination of technical knowledge, communication skills, and attention to detail. Inspectors must be able to understand the electrical code, communicate clearly with contractors and homeowners, and pay close attention to detail when documenting violations. They must also be able to use technology effectively to streamline the documentation process. Accurate documentation is not just about following rules and regulations, it is also about building trust and credibility with the public. When inspectors are thorough and accurate in their documentation, they demonstrate their commitment to public safety and earn the respect of the community. This trust is essential for effective code enforcement and for ensuring that electrical installations are safe and reliable. In addition to the benefits outlined above, accurate documentation can also help to improve the overall efficiency of the electrical inspection process. When violations are clearly and accurately documented, it is easier for contractors and homeowners to understand what needs to be corrected and to take the necessary steps to comply with the code. This can reduce the number of re-inspections required and save time and money for all parties involved. Effective documentation also helps to create a culture of compliance within the electrical industry. When contractors and homeowners know that inspectors are thorough and accurate in their documentation, they are more likely to take the code seriously and to ensure that their electrical installations are code compliant. This can lead to a reduction in the number of violations and a safer electrical environment overall. Consider implementing a quality control program to ensure the accuracy and consistency of your documentation. This program may involve peer reviews, supervisor oversight, or other mechanisms to identify and correct errors in documentation. Regular quality control checks can help to improve the overall quality of your documentation and to ensure that it meets the highest standards of accuracy and completeness. Furthermore, embrace a continuous learning mindset and stay up to date on the latest developments in electrical inspection and documentation. Attend training courses, read industry publications, and participate in professional organizations to stay informed about the latest best practices and emerging technologies. Continuous learning is essential for maintaining your competence and for providing the best possible service to the public. Remember that accurate documentation is an essential component of effective electrical inspection and code enforcement. By taking the time to document violations accurately and completely, you are contributing to a safer electrical environment and protecting the public from harm. In addition to the points already covered, it's crucial to ensure that your documentation is accessible and readily available to relevant parties. This means not only maintaining organized records but also utilizing technology to facilitate easy access. Consider using cloud-based storage solutions to store your documentation securely and allow authorized users to access it from anywhere with an internet connection. This can be particularly useful for contractors who need to access correction notices remotely or for supervisors who need to review inspection records from the field. When creating correction notices, use a standardized template to ensure consistency and completeness. A well-designed template will include all the necessary fields and prompts to guide you through the documentation process and ensure that you don't miss any important information. It can also help to improve the readability and clarity of your documentation. Consider incorporating checklists into your documentation process to ensure that you are consistently addressing all relevant aspects of the electrical code. Checklists can be particularly useful for complex inspections or for situations where you need to ensure that you have covered all the bases. Also, regularly review your documentation practices with your colleagues and supervisors to identify areas for improvement and to share best practices. Collaboration and knowledge sharing can help to improve the overall quality of your documentation and to ensure that you are consistently applying the electrical code.